What is going on, guys? This is Crozen, and this time I am back using the Demon Scar. So not only can you use this as an actual weapon, but you can cast pyro spells with this thing, and it has an E scaling in dexterity and then a C scaling in intelligence and faith. Now, you don't really want to level up all three of those stats, because if you do, something is going to suffer, like your HP or your endurance. So that's why I only went and leveled up in my intelligence and my faith and just got to the minimum of 16 dexterity and just used the Sage Ring to get the fastest casting speed that way. And I settled for 37 intelligence and faith. I thought that was a good stopping point and a good balance between not only high damage but also a little bit of bulkiness with 30 vigor and 30 endurance and some nice set of armor defenses. But this is what I'm wearing for my armor, and as you see, I'm using the blindfold mask. This thing will actually increase the damage of your black spells like Black Flame and Black Serpent by roughly 10%, so it makes a world of difference. But these are the rings I'm using as well, just some basic pyro boosting rings, the Ring of Favor, and then the Sage Ring to get the fastest spell casting time, which would be 51 with 16 dexterity here. So this is what the damage does with these stats here. It does 338 attack power. Now the interesting thing is, even if you one-hand this thing, it does the same amount of attack power. But I just two-hand this thing so that way I can go right into the weapon art when I want to. And it actually works very well as a main weapon, but you can also use this in your offhand and as a backup weapon as well. But you can do some interesting things with this. First thing is, it has the weapon art, which is L2 into R2. It leaves behind some fire on the ground. Now people can walk into that and it will do damage to them. But there is a problem with this weapon art. You can easily get stunned and staggered while you are in the middle of attacking with this thing. So you don't want to use it that often, and you want to be very cautious when you do, because someone can really fuck you up if they see you attacking like that. They can just run in and just stun and stagger you, and you're in for a world of trouble that way. But there's some pretty other cool things that this thing has. It has the regular R1 attacks here, and then you could even do a R2 attack. Even though R2 is solely for casting spells, you can actually do a jumping R2 attack by going with R2 and forward at the same time like this. But there are some pretty neat combos that you can do with this thing when you alternate between the R1 attacks and some of your spells. So for instance, you can do a Black Flame right into the R1 combo here, or you can do the opposite. You can go with R1 combo right into Black Flame, and that will do a lot of damage, that whole combo combined. And for those of you who are new to Pyro or who do not know this, you can actually do some pretty neat combos with just the spells themselves. So for instance, you can go with Black Serpent right into the Vestiges, and most of the time one of those is going to hit somebody, because it's very hard to dodge both of those when they are used at the same time like that. But in these clips, you will see that I will alternate between the Vestiges here and then also the Chaos Fire Orb, just to play around with it and mess around a little bit, since I didn't want to use the same thing every time. But that should do it for me. This is actually a very interesting and a very nice weapon, and I believe that it's worth it for every Pyro build out there. In fact, I would say that Pyro now is probably the best magic source in this game, next to Faith. I believe those two are probably the best right now. But that should do it for me, guys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. And let me know which one you want to see next as far as the DLC weapons, and I am out. See ya.